Hello, my little love. Welcome back to the Energetic Shift podcast. What you hear in your ears was recorded last month. However, today is the day that I renew my vows to my beautiful husband. So I just wanted to um mark this here on the podcast. It's quite strange when you record in front, and then the release date for this is the 30th of March. 2026, and me and my husband will, by the time you hear this, actually it will have already happened because we're 9 hours in front in Bali. We'll have been at the waterfall. We'll have had the most amazing ceremony, and we'll probably be at a beautiful place now just celebrating afterwards. So I am super excited about today's episode just because I know that it's going to be released on that date. However, let's get back to it. Today's episode is the way that I run my business would make most other coaches twitch, to be fair, especially business coaches. And again, this just feeds into my whole ethos of believing there are so many different ways to build a business, and every single one of them work, but not every single one of them work for every single person, right? So let me say it like this. If you put me in a room full of business coaches, traditional business coaches, and showed them how I run my company, at least a few of them would need to sit down, and a few others would need to report me somewhere. I don't know where they'd report me to, but because I don't do it in the proper way, in inverted commas. No 47-step onboarding sequence, no 5-year master plan mapped out in color-coded boxes, no 12-month financial forecast predicting Q3 fluctuations, no leads tracker, no pipeline, spreadsheet, none of that. In fact, I don't think I've ever used a spreadsheet to run my business. I can't stand them. I don't know how to work them. I don't know how to figure them out, right? That's not for me. And somehow it works. Somehow I earn a shit ton of money, have multiple businesses, and I've been in business for 12 years. Being totally unemployed for 10. Oh, nearly 11. So yeah, it's working somehow, right? It's doing it. I'm doing bits. I'm doing bits in business. It's giving. I feel very Love Island-esque. I'm picking up the lingo. Probably also make you cringe at that particular share as well. Anyhow, somehow it works. And before anyone starts having palpitations at this, like how can she possibly teach me how to run a business when she doesn't know how to work a spreadsheet, for example? How can she possibly when she doesn't do X, Y, and Z? And in my world, I help women build businesses their own way. So I actually don't need to, I've got a million strategies that I could share with you. I've got a million things that I can use, but ultimately business is just a structure and a process. And there's lots of different processes, there's lots of different structures, there's lots of different instructions on how to build a business. And ultimately my job as a coach and a business coach is to teach you more about yourself and understand more about yourself so that you can learn what you want, need, and how to run your business. Then you go and find the strategies. I will have some to share with you, and also there is a ton of them on the internet, and that's the whole point. Without going into that, this is another episode of Business Being Easy, which I'll talk to you about another time. Now, I know I've just dropped that in there, and it's a bit like, woo, what's she on about? Business is easy. It feels super fucking hard to me. Join me in the next episode. It's alignment. That's what it is. Underlined, capital letters, bold. It is alignment. There's a huge difference. Right? Alignment means I know how to operate best for me. I know how I make decisions. I know how I hold clients. I know what feels clean and what feels heavy to me. So I build around that. I know myself. I am so intuitive with my own needs, wants, desires. I don't have long corporate style onboarding processes. My clients don't get a 19-page PDF and structured welcome portal experience. They don't. And yet I still attract clients. Yet I still have clients coming back to me. Like, none of that puts my clients off. Would it put some clients off? Absolutely. Absolutely. Would it put my clients off, the ones that are right for me, my dreaming clients? Absolutely not. They get proximity. They get voice notes. They get access. They get honesty. They get me. That's what my clients need from me. I'm friends with my clients. Yes, actual friends. I love them. We laugh. We swear. We send memes to each other. We talk about life before we talk about metrics. We message each other at stupid o'clock at night, first thing in the morning, middle of the night sometimes when one of us is perimenopausal, because we're not sleeping. I coach humans. That's why I'm friends with my clients, because they're the humans that I absolutely love to be around. I attract the people that I want, need, and love in my space. I don't have a 5-year master plan because I evolve too quickly. I change my mind. I'm intuitive. I very much work with the universe on anything could just drop in. I could have a download, and I would spend and waste so much time because I've done these things. I've done the whole like try to plan out for a long time. I did that very start of my business. I tried to do the 5-year plan. Noticed very quickly that like my week plan would change very quickly. I love to be spontaneous. I love to change things up. I love to get a feeling about something and act on it straight away. And there's so many people that would really affect. Like, but if I put that in a 5-year plan, then it's changed. I'm wasting my time. Just what's the point in doing the 5-year plan when I know that it could change within anything could change in 24 hours, right? I understand this. I understand that that makes me feel uncomfortable to try and put something down, waste my time doing it, and then changing it within 24 hours anyway. Who I am now is not who I'll be in 24 months, never mind 5 years. Right? Who I am in 24 hours, never mind 24 months. Why would I lock future into a rigid blueprint? It just doesn't work for me. For some people need that they need to know where they're going. Like I know the direction I'm going in. I just don't know what it looks like or how it's going to happen at this point. I move with identity expression. I move as I evolve. When I grow, my business grows. When I shift, the model shifts with me. When I elevate, my clients elevate. And that might mean the same clients elevate with me and evolve with me. It might mean that they drop off and I attract new ones into my space. I don't have a 12-month financial forecast. I have standards, I have capacity, I have belief, and I have clean numbers in my head. I know what I want to earn, total goal. Like I know where I want to be, how I get there, how that's forecast, how that's put down, where that's coming from. I don't need to know that. I have faith, I have trust, and I know that I do the right things because I do everything that's in alignment with me. I do and I act accordingly to know that the numbers will come. I know my numbers more by auditing and looking at where I'm at and where I've been. Then I can decide if I want more. When I do that, I'll put a total number on it and I'm like, right, okay, I know where they're going to come from and I can do that. And roughly I will go into, which offer brings me X amount of money and how many of those I need to sell. Of course, right? But I do that as I launch, as I go into a new launch, as I go into offering something else, as I go into my sales strategy. Don't get me wrong. Don't you ever get me confused with somebody that doesn't know that side of things, doesn't know strategy, doesn't work with strategy, doesn't teach strategy, doesn't teach numbers. I just don't have a 12-month forecast. I have a 3-month and potentially a 6-month forecast of what I want, but it's not built out in the way that you see some traditional business coaches do with their spreadsheets and their, I mean, it makes me feel sick, but it's just because it's not for me. It doesn't mean all of it works. All of it works. And I'm not saying that people with financial forecasts don't have standards or capacity. But of course, right? Of course they do. That's not what I'm saying. That's what drives me. That's what makes my business work. My standards, my capacity, my belief, my clean numbers in my head, right? And they are down on paper somewhere. They're just, on my computer, they're just not in a fancy spreadsheet. Refuse to build from fear-based prediction energy. Like I don't like it. So it makes me feel like I've got no desire to get over it. I've got no desire to get over and need to. I know I don't need a spreadsheet to build a successful business. I've been building successful businesses for 12 years. So I know that. And I don't have a like leads tracker either. So I know there's so many people out there that will have a tracker, a spreadsheet or something that will have a list of names of who they've been talking to, warming up, nurturing, etc., or leads that have come in. I don't chase people, and I'm not saying that these people chase people either. Like what I'm saying is I don't. Like it's not forced because they're on my list. Absolutely, I will reach out to people. I will follow people up. I will build relationships with people genuinely. But that's because they're in my world and they show up in my spaces and they show up organically and naturally on my feeds, on my socials. So I will reach out to them when I feel called to, due to the fact that I enjoy a post that they've put on, literally genuinely been thinking about them, or I've got an offer that I know will match their energy. That's what I do. That works for me. Could I sit with a list and a tracker and tick them off and every Monday sit and contact all of these people? Absolutely. Yes, I could. And would it work? Yes, it would. Of course it would. Would I enjoy it? Would I fuck? So I would feel like it was forced, and I don't force anything. For me, that feels right. For other people, sitting and making sure that they're ticking off their list, they're people that, you know, and there's clients that I've suggested this strategy to, absolutely, because I know that it would work for them, because otherwise they don't have that organic connection and intuitive pull to reach out. So they need to do it from a more strategical place and a more business-like place. For me, it has to feel more natural for me. For me, it has to feel more genuine for me. And I'm not saying that's not genuine by reaching out at a certain time, at a certain day, right? By following your list. I just feel like for me, that feels more organic and easier for me to get behind. So it keeps my capacity wide because I'm doing what I feel like doing, and it keeps me in alignment with me. My energy is better spent refining my standards, like, than following up with cold people, for example. And yes, if I'm awake at 2 a.m. and a client messages me, or I'm scrolling on my phone and I see a post that one of my audience members or one of my potential leads has posted at 11 p.m. the night before, I will comment on it. I will reply to a message. I reply, not because I'm overworking or not because I'm in the middle of the night, you know, stressing because I need to, you know, I'm desperate to get new clients in. It feels light for me, and I'm perimenopausal. I'm fucking up through the night. So it makes sense. And it also means that maybe I'll just have a nana nap like 12 o'clock the next day. I don't follow the rules. Genuinely don't follow the rules in my business. They were designed for a nervous system that's not mine. This is my nervous system, so it needs to work for me. That's the real point here. Like, most business advice is built around generic capacity. And I'm not generic. I'm my own person. I'm not generic. Average energy, average emotional range, average ambition. And if you're not average, which if you listen to this podcast, I guarantee you're not average, you can't build in average ways. You have to build in alignment. And if that means doing things that are not in the rule book of business, then so be it. It's about building a business that matches your nervous system, your personality, your ambition, and your life. Some women thrive off spreadsheets and forecasting. That's fucking amazing. It works. They all work every way. That's alignment for them. It would suffocate me. It would bore me to death. It would confuse the fuck out of me. And I thrive on depth and proximity and clean decisions and fast pivots and energy precision. That's alignment for me. That's what I build around. And because it's aligned, it scales and it makes me money and it feels spacious and it feels fun to do. The biggest mistake I see ambitious women doing and making is copying business models that clash with who they are. They build structures that they secretly resent. They implement systems that drain the fuck out of them, and they follow rules that make them feel boxed in. Then they wonder why they feel stuck. It's a self-trust issue. They don't trust themselves to make decisions that will work for them, and generally comes from the fact that their lack of experience or their lack of knowledge in business. It's not a strategy issue. You can go on anywhere and find a strategy. You can try a fucking million strategies. There's also a reason why I advise in the beginning, go and do and try everything you possibly can. It's the quickest way to find what works for you and what doesn't. Obviously, there's a key of you dropping things that don't. So that's another podcast. Check out the earlier ones this month. The way you build your business should make sense for you. Be all and end all. If it feels heavy, forced, performative, understand that. If that was what it feels like for you, this data is telling you something. It will always outperform imitation long term. So yes, my way would make most coaches cringe, but it makes me money. And it makes me feel free. And I love what I do. Most importantly, feels like mine. Okay. So if you want a business that feels like yours, that feels like an extension of you, that feels as easy as breathing, come speak to me. I've got some amazing spaces, some amazing offers that will help you with all of this energy work. Love you forever. See you when I get back from Bali.